let me tell them something about these vegetables. We did, and I think I'm correct on this. You can check me if I'm wrong. But there's I think in Cajun cooking, Creole cooking, there's what they call the Holy Trinity, like Father, Son, Holy Ghost. But in this instance, I believe it's bell pepper, onions, and celery, or it may be garlic in there, and take one of those out. Can't recall offhand, but there is a Holy Trinity. So that incorporates the Holy Trinity in the Cajun Creole cooking. Put that in there. Okay. What's your next step?
I would go ahead and put the seasonings in
to
where they're cooking in with your beans and vegetables.
Okay. So we can go ahead and season our beans.
And we are going to get the sausage into our hot skillet.
A little more olive oil in there. Salt.
Oh no. You'll get plenty of juices off of your sausage. You don't need to add any more olive oil or anything. So, we got that in there. We're going to take just a little sip of our wine. You have to have wine while you cook. It makes it more relaxing and enjoyable.
Okay. While she's cooking that sausage, this is something I've learned over the years about red beans and rice. It was initially, when it started out, I think maybe in the city of New Orleans and some of the surrounding areas, you always hear it's always served on Mondays. And the reason why, from what I've learned, is that on Mondays, the women would always go outside with a big wash tub and a washboard and wash clothes. And if you have a big tub and washboard and you're washing clothes like that for your whole family, that takes all day long. So apparently they did not soak their beans. They put their beans on the boil and let them slow boil all day long. That way they did not have to sit there and just stay in the kitchen and tend to a big pot of something. They might come in there every hour or so and check on it. That way they get all the clothes washed up, hung out to dry, and done. Today, this is what's great about today. This is how far we progressed. Excuse me. We can soak our beans, which they probably could have done then, but we've got washing machines. The only difference in then and now is you had women then that were willing to go outside and wash clothes in a wash tub. Okay? Now these women nowadays, they got washing machines and half the time they don't even know where they're at.
And the great thing about that, you have husbands that are so willing to go in and throw the laundry in for you and put it in the dryer, so it makes your job so much easier.
See? So we have, I guess, man-woman relations have progressed to the point where a man will throw something in a washing machine. Now, as far as getting it out in the dryer and folding it up, that's not going to happen around here. But I will go to the point of washing. And one other thing I didn't mention, I got kind of sidetracked there. I've got 4 bay leaves here. Those go in as well. So, and we're getting close to getting to
a good boil.
Good boil over here.
And once you get close to that, once you get your pot of beans to a good boil, you should go ahead and add your ham hocks in.
Go ahead and add the ham hocks now. Okay. And this thing's and they're good too. That's really, I love biting into that ham hock when I'm doing red beans and rice. So.
You should try it with the ham hocks if you've never tried it before. It adds so much flavor to your beans. It's amazing. The flavor is just wonderful. And Jeff doesn't like his sausage as brown as I do. But we're going to do it the way I like it tonight.
No complaints on that.
To me, the browner the better. So not too much longer on the sausage, and I'll show y'all what the sausage should look like before you pour it in. And when you get ready to pour it in, pour your grease and all in. Because what we're doing is we're sitting here and we're releasing the flavors of the sausage plus giving the sausage a little extra texture.
And plus you're using extra virgin olive oil, so I mean that's good for you. And hell, it just tastes good. So we're starting to boil over here. So I know we're gonna swap these over to there after you get the sausage in.
Yeah.
So how about your cooking time?
Once we incorporate everything into the pot, you want to have a good steady boil on your beans. I would say once you reach a good steady boil, cut your eye down, to probably medium, and put the lid on and let it cook for a good hour to maybe an hour and a half. And then, once we reach that point, there is one trick to the trade that Jeff doesn't normally do when he does his beans, and I will show you that trick to the trade, and it helps thicken your, as you call it, pot liquor up, and kind of adds a little bit of flavor to it, but it makes the texture of your red beans and rice just perfect.
Boil time on your beans, it's contingent upon how long you soak the beans.
Yes.
If I'm correct.
Right. Now,
Okay.
if you put your beans on early to go to bed, and say you get up late and you soaked them over 8 hours, drain that water off, and when you refill your pot to put them on to boil, your boil time, your cooking time actually, is going to be less than an hour and a half. Just pick up a bean and fill it, squeeze it, and see what the texture's like. If it's real hard, it's probably going to take a good hour and a half. Otherwise, it might only take an hour.
Okay.
So our sausage is ready. So let's show the viewers how the sausage should look.
Smells good.
So, if you can see, this is how the sausage should look. We're good and brown. We've got some that's not too brown and some that's real good and brown. Now, don't worry about the grease. If you want to drain the grease off, drain the grease off. I like to add my grease into my pot with my sausage. That adds a lot of extra flavor to me. So we're going to add that in there and give that a quick stir around. And it is smelling so good already.
It is smelling good. Smells like red beans and rice. They've been cooking 10 minutes.
And we're ready to put that lid on and change it over to the larger eye now.
A little bit of a heavy boil. Let's wait on that just a second. We'll have it at a boil when we get over here. And then you say drop it down to halfway, or
drop it down to medium low.
Okay.
You don't want a rapid boil, because when you put that lid on, you don't want it to boil over, because that would be a mess, and you don't want that. So pop it down to medium low, and let the pot get used to the heat that it's on before you put the lid on. So you want your lid on to keep the moisture in, to let the beans soak up all that good flavor you have in there with your ham hocks and your sausage that just got fried up and all of your vegetables and seasoning.
Is there any hints you can give the audience as far as to what should you be checking for?
I come back and I check around every 15 minutes, give them a good toss, good stir, and you want to look for